Well, nice to meet you, Ludacris.
Nice to
I'm a
meet you.
huge fan, so I'm honored to be here today.
Thank you.
And you're no stranger when it comes to collaborating with brands to elevate a cause or show support for something that you believe in. So tell me how this partnership with Google came about.
It's exactly what you just said. They presented me with this idea, and you said I like to partner with brands, elevate, especially when it comes to showing my own family and my children about how entrepreneurship works and being able to come with an idea and make that idea into a reality. So, being able to support Black business and all the impact that it's having in all of the communities, and especially since the pandemic, the rising rate of supporting the Black businesses has gone up like 30%. So that's part of the reason I wanted to lend my voice to it. And like you said it best. Trying to lend my voice to things that I know are supporting and doing positive things in the community.
Absolutely. And speaking of those Black-owned businesses, how would you say that your career in the music industry or the music business has led you to good business practices over the years, especially from going from radio to being an artist and acting and beyond?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that a lot of it is kind of trial and error. And you got to be able to take those risks. The people that are the most successful are the risk takers. And so I think being able to share these stories and your successes and failures is also a big part of galvanizing the whole entrepreneur and Black entrepreneur community so that we can continue to learn from one another. And that's something that I want to be able to share. You know what I mean? I probably had more failures than I've had successes, but the successes stick in people's minds because they have a consistency and they continue on, and it's reinforcement. The failures, they just go away. So as Michael Jordan said, he's taken so many shots, he's made this many shots. It's all about not being afraid to fail, but having calculated risk and making sure that you understand as much as you can, which is why using Google and trying to find the answers and find the Black businesses and understand why they are successful, and us supporting one another is going to continue to change the world for the better, especially in our communities.
Yeah, and one of the cool things about this campaign is that it comes with an original song as well as a choose your own adventure type of film.
Right.
As the man behind catchy jingles for brands like Boost Mobile, I always think about that. Where you at, the whole city is behind you.
That's dope.
And then more recently with Jif, and even I love hearing stand up on the Google Pixel ads. Can you tell me how has projects like this contributed to your success as an artist or your success overall?
They've contributed to my success as an artist because, people who are my fans, they also want to know who I am deep down and what I believe in and what I support. So when they see me aligning myself with certain brands that I absolutely love as an individual, and all of those brands you just named, then they get to know more about the person and the individual, not just, the music. And then that'll more than likely, hopefully, make fans love me even more because they understand we have a lot of similarities and they know that I am doing things for a cause and not just to do them.
Yeah, and lastly, I was watching a recent interview that you did for Karma's World, which my little cousins, my goddaughter, we all love that show.
Thank you.
And you said you can't be afraid to fail forward. Can you tell me how has failure? Is there a particular moment in your career that a failure has turned into just an even better opportunity for you?
That's a great question. But the first thing that comes to my mind is the reason that I'm probably sitting here in the first place. When the song What's Your Fantasy came out, it was the biggest risk that I ever took in my life because I was afraid to fail. And I was like, if I put this out and it doesn't do anything, then I'm going to be a failure. And how am I going to live with myself with that? But I just built up the courage and said, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? And I put it out, and the rest is pretty much history. So based off what you're saying, we have to build that courage within ourselves, and we have to not be afraid to fail because the greatest rewards are on the other side of not being afraid to fail and continuing to try. And that's basically the best thing I could say.
I love that. And that's one of my favorite songs. It got me in so much trouble singing when I was a kid. But one of my favorite songs. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you. All good. I appreciate you.